Thank you, everybody. My name is Frank Yu. I'm the Principal Application Experience Architect at Kemp Technologies, and today we're going to be talking about gaining visibility with network performance monitoring and diagnostics at Networking Field Day today. And what we're going to cover today is, first, I'm going to spend about 10 minutes talking about Kemp Technologies, the company, and let you get an understanding of what we do and our products and why we're talking today about network performance monitoring diagnostics, because it's really cool. And this introduction of the Flowmon technology into our family that I'll spend a little time on is really important in terms of what we're trying to do overall. Next, we'll go in a little deeper dive in terms of gaining visibility with network performance monitoring diagnostics, and that's a mouthful. NPMD is the acronym that we use for that. Of course, we love acronyms in the IT world. And I'll spend about 20 minutes talking about NPMD, what it is, why it's important, what we can do with it in terms of how we manage our network architectures, network infrastructure, our applications. And then we're going to have Pavel Minarek give us, he's our CTO at Kemp Technologies, and he's going to give a nice technical deep dive of this NPMD technology, what it is, how it works, how Kemp Flowmon really takes advantage of the technology to do what it does. And then Pavel is going to give a use case demo talking about application experience using Kemp LoadMaster, load balancers, and Flowmon technology together with the joining of these two companies, and show you a demo of the value and a use case where this is a real world experience of what we can do with these technologies. And of course, we're going to wrap up at the end. So that's the agenda. So first, let me talk about our presenters. And first, we have Pavel Minarek. He's our CTO for Kemp Technologies. And Pavel, instead of me reading off on the slide, can you just give me a minute of telling about yourself?
Sure. Thank you, Frank. Hi, everybody. It's a pleasure to speak on Networking Field Day. I'm coming to Kemp Technologies from the Flowmon Networks acquisition, where I was working as a Chief Technology Officer, and I'm going to continue in this role at Kemp Technologies. I do have a long-term experience in network traffic monitoring and traffic analysis, especially in the network detection and response platform that we have built at Flowmon Networks. So today I'm going to share with you a very technical, very deep dive into the NPMD, how the technology works, what is it capable of, and then demonstrate these capabilities in live demo using our products.
Great. Thank you very much, Pavel. And I'm so glad that you're here because you're going to go so much deeper technology-wise than I am. And I really appreciate that. Again, my name is Frank Yu. I'm the Principal Application Experience or AX Architect. I've been doing application networking for 25 years almost. It's scary to think that this technology and stuff has existed this long, and I'm still in it, but it's very exciting. I've been dealing with load balancing technology and application networking since the 90s and worked for various companies you can see on the slide there. But my goal here is really to give you my insights and my perspective of what's been going on with this industry and this technology and how it really is so important in today's world as we're moving towards this concept of really understanding the visibility of the network versus just building networks like we did in the old days. So let's continue on. Talk a little bit about Kemp. Kemp, the always-on application experience company. And to give you a little history, Kemp started in the early 2000s, and we started as really a load balancing / reverse proxy company when those reverse proxies and load balancers were really starting to become popular to scale out the internet as the internet continued to explode and boom. And we built this software that was really cool. And over time, if you're aware of this industry, the technology kind of evolved. And we started coining the term ADC, Application Delivery Controller, where an application delivery controller is a load balancer, but it's a load balancer that does lots of other cool things. So now the load balancers can do things like edge authentication for two-factor authentication or custom login to whether using SAML or OAuth or something like that for authentication to websites and other applications, single sign-on application scenarios. And we can do things like a global server load balancing for geographic distribution, web application firewall, where we can do content inspection and protecting the applications, specifically web applications for OWASP top 10 vulnerabilities and other security threats and web content. There's a lot of cool things that load balancing does. And this is why I'm still excited about load balancing, because load balancing is still a very relevant technology and evolving, even though it's been around for a while. And to give you an example, I mean, look at this slide. We have over 100,000 deployments. I think it's coming close to 150,000 deployments in 138 countries, which is the majority of the countries on the planet, which is really cool. And companies small and large. So, I mean, you can see some of the names listed here, and I won't go through them all. And we have a very close partnership, because one important thing about this technology is it's a niche technology. It's not networking. It's not application development and coding. It sits kind of in between. It bridges the gap. And so this load balancing technology that Kemp created really works well with all these other partners in terms of IT technology partners, as well as application partners, because again, it's bridging that gap between the two, and it's very important. And as Kemp has developed over the years, we have become very well known and popular, hopefully well known and popular, at least from my perspective, certainly so, where we are the #1 customer rated application experience platform. So when you look at third-party review sites like Gartner Peer Insights or G2 or Trust Radius, etc., for example, on Gartner Peer Insights, we actually have 5 out of 5 stars rating, which is exceptional, and we are so proud of it. We're a global company, so we have a presence all over the world. We have teams and offices in all the major regions, in the Americas, in EMEA, in Asia Pacific, and really have developed this strong technology presence for all the different regions and customizing things for their environments. And from a company positioning standpoint, you can see here in the bottom right hand of the slide, we were acquired by a private investment firm, Mill Point Capital Investment, which has been great for us in April 2019. And then soon after that, we started expanding our portfolio. We acquired Lithops Technologies in February, company based in India. And then we acquired Flowmon Networks in 2020. And this is such a big story, the Flowmon Networks acquisition. And this is a big piece of what we want to talk about today, because what Flowmon is doing and what you're going to hear about what Flowmon is doing marries so well with what load balancers do and this concept of this application experience, this application networking, in terms of providing the functionality for that application scalability, reliability, resiliency, and all those things that we like talk about in terms of making sure our applications are always up. And Flowmon gives us the visibility in terms of the performance, the network performance and management, and the diagnostics, as we're going to talk about today, as well as security and lots of other cool things. So it's such a tight integration and fit that we're creating with this Flowmon. I don't like to say acquisition, because it's really the bringing of two equals. I like to think, and there's so much that we are leveraging in terms of the synergy of these technologies. So what are we doing at Kemp? It's all about, again, that application experience. And we're creating this application experience platform and the solution sets based on our products to, #1, know that our applications networks are up and running. We want to know that our application is going to be up 24/7, scalable, provide that resiliency, provide that redundancy, provide that load balancing, pool of servers, health checking, all that good stuff. And we need to know that, again, we need to know that is in that condition. And this is an important part, because then we need to extract that information. We need to extract the packet flow application telemetry, so that we get the data to understand how is the network performing, what is its state, what is it like. And we need some sort of tool to monitor all this. And we need some sort of tool to make it so that it's easy to monitor, so that we don't have to spend lots of time and have lots of expertise to go through all the logs and all the data for what's happening. We need some sort of tool to continuously monitor this traffic and the behavior of the traffic, so we can see what's going on. And then lastly, protect. Because we're getting that visibility and all these insights, we have the insight into the security. We have the insight into the security in terms of the load balancing technology, like I mentioned, with our web application firewall, edge authentication for single sign-on, as well as the flow technology, giving us the information about anomalies and threats and other types of things that are happening on the network. So it's all coming together to give us that application experience. Again, it's all about, in our perspective at Kemp Technologies, application experience. So when we go through the product portfolio, first, like I mentioned, we have our load balancing technology, load balancing and application delivery, or ADC, the application delivery controllers, as some people use, with our LoadMaster product line, which is a robust, full-featured, capable product that gives us the ability to do load balancing on-premise, hardware, software, virtual, in cloud, public cloud, AWS, Azure, it doesn't matter, and provide a consistent load balancing functionality. I'm going to skip the NPMD for 1 second, because that's the highlight of what we're going to be talking about today. And then we also do network detection response, NDR, where we take advantage of this Flowmon technology to collect data and really then identify anomalies and look at the behavior of the traffic that we're seeing and the data we're seeing from the network to tell us, hey, there's a threat, there's a problem. These machines shouldn't be doing that. What is going on? And provide insight for the customer, for the IT organization to understand, here's a problem. Even though there may or may not be a quote unquote signature, here's a problem that we're detecting, and you should investigate and find out what's going on. We do application performance monitoring, and not application performance monitoring in terms of we're going to check the code and make sure that your HTTP coding and everything else is optimized on the server, but we're going to do it from a network perspective. We're going to look at this end to end from a network perspective and make sure that application delivery, what I call application delivery networking, is performing in an optimal way from client to server, through the network, through the LAN, through the WAN, data center, et cetera. And again, going back to the network performance monitoring diagnostics, NPMD. For the network operations team, this gives you intelligent network traffic capture, comprehensive monitoring, detailed monitoring, all in one window, all through one interface, to give you great insights into what is going on with your network infrastructure on a regular basis and on a scaling basis in terms of time.